One comment I get quite a bit is how someone is pulling something Marvel or DC off of their pull list at their comic shop, and it shows a lack of faith in both Marvel and DC. They drive many of their readers away with a one-sided politics, the self-insert writers who couldn't even find the core of a character if they had a roadmap that led them to exactly where they were standing. Yet, hope is not lost, ladies and gentlemen, dear comic book readers. We do have a place to go, and that is the back issue bin and the graphic novel shelves of your local comic book shop, Amazon, what have you. And that is where we come to help you find some back issues, substitutes to the garbage that's being released today. And we will give you 10 reasons why comic books were better in the 1940s. Number 10. Phantom Lady, first appearing alongside Plastic Man in 1940s Police Comics #1 and created by Eisner and Iger Company with artist Arthur Petty. This femme fatale crime fighter became famous for at least one obvious reason, or two if you're keeping count. She would often use a black light, both handheld and attached to her car headlights, that would blind her foes, giving her time to disappear and attack in a phantom-like haze. Yet, let's face it, it is her costume, her hormone-activating costume, and her appearance that has given her the sustainability that she enjoys today. And while she's shared 3 separate identities throughout the years, as every time they try to reboot her, they give her a new identity, a new secret identity, she also has enjoyed some team play with the Freedom Fighters, but you know what? There's something about these old Golden Age stories that they just kind of touch you in that special place. Number 9. Flash Comics, and I'm not talking about Flash in comics, although he is in this book. We're talking about Flash Comics #1. This boasts the first appearance of 2 iconic DC characters, and first, we do have the titular character of J. Garrick the Flash, created by Gardner Fox and Harry Lampert, whose speed powers this time around were granted by inhaling vapors from hard water, or what modern scientists may call steam. The other DC legend making his appearance in this extraordinary key issue in this great series is none other than Carter Hall, otherwise known as Hawkman, also created by Garner Fox, but this time with the help of artist David Neville. Now, these 2 awesome heroes continued their adventures through all 104 issues, even introducing the Black Canary in issue number 92. Number 8. First appearing in More Fun Comics number 101, Siegel and Schuster always wanted to do the stories of Superman as a young boy. So what do we get? We get Superboy, ladies and gentlemen. Now, help me settle a bet. There is a debate going on that this is not an original character. No, I'm telling you, I've actually heard this argument many times, that Superboy, true, by himself, original character Superboy, had first appeared in 1990s with Connor Kent. Now, granted, this is in fact Clark Kent as a boy. We are seeing the adventures of Clark Kent as a boy, so that's their argument. But I say that here, and with his adventures with the Legion of Superheroes, Superboy became kind of his own character that you can actually separate. And with Superboy Prime and so forth, they actually did become his own character. I don't know. I still say More Fun Comics number 101 is the official Superboy first appearance, and not just Clark Kent as Superboy. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But you know what? Do yourself a favor and go read these comics. They're just so much fun. There's so much Golden Age goofiness, and it goes right on into the Silver Age too. So you get that Silver Age silliness. It is just absolute pure fun and pure entertainment. And in all honesty, I got to tell you, I'm a bit of a Golden Age DC shill. I love these books. They're just that freaking cool. So cool, as a matter of fact, did you know that Superboy was the first solo title to be sustainable after World War II? I bet you didn't know that. Well, you're here to learn, and I'm here to teach. Number 7. Okay, gang, raise your hand if you're the very first super family ever introduced into comics. Now, everyone, lower your hands if you're not Captain, Mary Jr., or Uncle Dudley. However, actually, before those 3 joined Billy Batson in the Marvel family, there were 3 other teenagers from across the country, all of them named Billy, and nicknamed, I kid you not, Tall Billy, Fat Billy, and a guy from Nashville called Hillbilly. They went there, ladies and gentlemen. Also part of the family, but not officially a Captain Marvel, we have Taki Tani. And from another dimension that is inhabited by fuzzy, cute animals, Hoppy the Marvel Bunny, who does, in fact, share the same powers as Captain Marvel. And recently there have been some changes made to the family. I don't think that you can really hold a candle to, nor can you really just top the fun nature of the original Captain Marvel family. And granted, I always do think that Uncle Dudley's kind of a silly addition. The one thing I love about modern Captain Marvel comics is they do seem to keep the spirit. But you know what? Pound for pound, my money, get those trade paperbacks, get those singular issues if you can find them. Because gosh darn, the freaking art and the colors just pop off these books, man. Number 6, kids, you know what? Kick back for a bit. I want to stay for a while. We're going to talk about More Fun Comics, which kind of sprang from New Fun Comics, number 6, where we first met Dr. Occult. More Fun will continue the introductions to iconic heroes. That's what we're going to talk about. First is an anthology that covers, boasted as mostly a comedy feature until issue number 42, which showed off their first adventure feature. But then, just 10 issues later, we got our first iconic crime fighter clad in white tights, a green hooded cape, and Spanx with elf shoes to match. The Spectre, who first appeared in issue number 52, thanks to Jerry Siegel and Bernard Bailey. It was easy to tell that there was no clear idea what they wanted with the Spectre or what they wanted the Spectre to be. A typical Golden Age fisticuffs crime fighter, albeit one with a death touch? Or an independent spirit acting separate from his human host? Either way, the spirit carried the book on his shoulders for the next 3 issues, when in issue number 55, Gardner Fox and Howard Sherman brought us the mystical warrior, Dr. Fate. A crime fighter who had no backstory. This is how much they loved him, kids. No backstory for the first 12 issues he appeared in. That is 2 years, because most of these books were bi-monthly. Kid you not. From inception to origin, 2 years, gang. Where we find he was Kent Nelson, son of archaeologist whom young Kent accidentally killed. The wizard Naboo took pity on him, trained him in the ways of magic, and those two dang near ran the board on this title for 20 issues. Then, in an issue so often we hadn't seen its like since the Flash Comics number 1, we get More Fun Comics number 73. This issue also would debut two awesome heroes. Awesome heroes, hungry hippos. Green Arrow, created by Mort Weisinger and George Papp, proved to be so damn perfect of a clone of Batman, he actually cloned some popularity, and he was given a cover 4 issues later, while his future JLA friend Aquaman, who was also created by Mort Weisinger, but this time with artist Paul Norris, made his debut in the same issue, but wouldn't grace a cover, not even a single cover, until 20 years later, when he first appeared on the cover of Showcase number 30. Man, Aquaman didn't even get respect from his own company in the Golden Age. There were other debuts as well. We got the All-Star Squadron member Johnny Quick showing up. If you're gonna mimic Batman, why not the Flash? And I already mentioned More Fun 101, where we got the first appearance of Superboy. Which I think, just for fun, here's the second and third cover for Superboy as well. Number 5. All-Star Comics gave us the adventures of the Golden Age DC crime fighters, such as the Sandman, the Spectre, Green Lantern, and the Flash, but they were not a team until issue 3 introduced them as the Justice Society of America. Not that they were much of a team in the first time they teamed up, as much as they were an adventurers club where they gathered and told tales of the villains and they faced and the crimes they stopped. While Ma Hunkel, of all people, the Red Tornado, tried to gain membership, the first woman to be officially inducted would be Wonder Woman, who made her first appearance as a backup feature in issue number 8, but wouldn't join the team in the comics until issue number 11. Now, they continued their separate adventures, but eventually they did act like an official team until, unfortunately, we got issue number 57, the very last issue. They were unceremoniously canceled, like many titles at the time, but then revived in the 70s with issue number 58 and the introduction of Power Girl. All-Star would continue the JSA adventures and even be home to a second first appearance in issue number 67, one of 2 first appearance issues, released same day and month, of the Huntress. Eventually, of course, All-Star Comics is canceled and All-Star Squadron is born. Do you notice a little pattern, though? That the JSA, for 40 years, does not get their own self-titled comic book. Can you believe that, kids? Look at this. Look at these awesome heroes. It's amazing that that never happened. They actually got a teenage spin-off with Infinity Inc. before they actually got their own comic book in 1992 titled The Justice Society of America. Number 4. Starting with the Shield, we got our Patriotic Heroes. You can understand why the 1940s would be ripe with the heroes who loved America and wanted to show it by donning the stars and stripes or some other symbol that showed loyalty in the American idea. These heroes could make you feel proud to be born in the most beautiful country that God ever allowed to be created on his big blue marble. My favorite, Uncle Sam, started in National Comics, would become the embodiment of the American spirit, his power growing and waning with the faith America's people had in its ideals. And back then, there was no shortage of the American spirit. Number 3. The Shield in Pep Comics. Actually, no, I'm talking about Archie, who was also published by MLJ in the same Pep comic as the aforementioned Shield. He's America's favorite teenager, and although he is called Chet through most of his first appearance, we do find it's just a nickname. But along with Archie in the first issue, we are introduced to Betty, and from there, for the next 80 years, we grow to know some of the coolest teens in a town called Riverdale. An ever-hungry sidekick in the name of Jughead, who loves food so much, he named his dog Hot Dog. Veronica, who's constantly challenging Betty for Archie's affection, and even Reggie, the town bully. A group of kids so malleable in their character, they fit into damn near any narrative, including the modern-day horror comics such as Afterlife of Archie. Yet, even with these modern-day twists and changes, and I do recommend you check out the modern-day stuff as well, those classic comics are just so easy to pick up and enjoy. Sometimes a little childish, but always a lot of fun. Number 2. Wonder Woman. And if I didn't cheat a little, and you will see what I mean in a moment, Wonder Woman could have easily topped this list. From All-Star to Cavalcade to Sensational and her own self-titled comic book, Wonder Woman wasted no time in becoming as popular as the National Comics, DC Comics, 2 most popular characters, Superman and Batman. The Trinity would represent DC Comics to this day, and Wonder Woman would become such a feminist icon that writer Denny O'Neil took away all of her powers to show she was a strong woman without them. And spoiler alert, women got pissed at them. Origins change, and a hell of a reboot comic by art god George Perez, a TV show starring real-life Wonder Woman Linda Carter, gave the Amazon a boost in popularity and ensured she will be around forever. Okay, so maybe I really should also give some credit to the newer movies with Gal Gadot, putting her in the spotlight. Let's face it, Gal Gadot does a good job on her. Come on. And the number 1 reason comic books in the 1940s were better than modern-day comics is when Captain America throws his it's a cheat. He could have easily have been included in the Patriotic Heroes category, but you know what? Captain America, created by Joe Simon, Jack Kirby, deserved his own mention. A small but patriotic man named Steve Rogers is given a serum that turns him into a super soldier ready to fight crime and Nazis, and sometimes at the same time. Right out of the gate, he's socking Hitler in the jaw for good old USA and making every reader proud he is doing it for them. Even after his revival in Avengers number 4, he remained a hero other heroes are willing to follow. A character who, when written correctly, stands for the rights and ideals bred into Americans and given to them by God, as laid down in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. When you read a comic book written properly starring Captain America, he should always be a character where you're thinking, you know what, I don't only want to know this guy, I want to be this guy. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, kids and kidettes, 10 examples of why the golden age, the 1940s, were better than modern day comics. Now, if you liked this video, and I know you did, click on the video that's popping up right here that also explores the golden age, the best of the 1940s. I'm pretty sure you're going to have a good time with that, so thank you very much for clicking on that video, and as always, thank you very, very much for watching.